everyone, Justin Dees here from Neo Home Loans. Wanted to give you the quick rundown as quickly as I can get through it. Jordan Levine took 45 minutes. He's the Speaker VP Chief Economist for CAR. I'm going to try to do this in 3 to get you everything you need to know about the housing market in California and the outlook for 2024. Let's jump right in. 1, lowest level of mortgage apps in 30 years. I'm sure we all know it. We've seen it. But look, lowest mortgage apps are down. We believe that's because of rates, mostly because of rates, and obviously low inventory. Let's go a little perspective on interest rates as it's needed. Look, we're at the same rate as we were in 2005. Guess who got their start then? I did. I was used to selling loans in the 6 to 7% range. So we know that we can get this done. We know that it's affordable. It's just not as affordable as it was before, and prices are higher. So buyers are a little bit less likely to jump in the market. Super, super excited until we get a little bit lower interest rates, which we should see by the end of the year. We're seeing sales bounce back in January. Look here that we're already back into the 500,000 sales. So if these happen, continue on the rise, then we know that we have more sales to be done in 2024. California starting on a positive note. We have a 7% increase in the Bay Area. We have a statewide 6% increase. And then you look here at Southern California, it's down to 1%, but here we are on the Central Coast, 8% increase in annual existing single family residence house sales growth. Sales up locally here in Santa Barbara. We'll see once again, January number is looking higher than where we ended in, say, October, November, December. Top end rebounding. Hey, look, even the best numbers we're seeing are in the 3 to 5 million. You're seeing 32 to 35% increase in sales. Significant growth of the top end locally. Santa Barbara, same thing. Existing family pending sales. We're already up in pending sales in January and rolling right into February as well. New existing listings. We see that at 15,000 listings compared to the 12,000 in December. California price increases. 7 months in a row we've seen price increases. So it's showing that we're not going to see a slump. We need buyers to understand we're not going to see prices reduce. We're actually going to see them rise as we have a very short supply. Prices in the upswing locally. Once again, this shows the kind of the same numbers. Look at January compared to the end of last year. Data is real. Home buying is less affordable. Look, the numbers don't lie. We'll show you why. $180,000 is a household income up here on the left. We were doing this for a San Luis Obispo property. These clients at 10% down at 3% could afford $1,061,000, right? Because of 3%. Now let's see what happens when we take that to 8. It jumps down to 677,000. That's right, $1,061,000 to 677,000 by increasing rates by 5%. What does that mean? That person, to get to that same $1,060,000, we got it right to about $1,053,000 because the debt is $8,167 a month. That household income needs to jump up to $280,000 a year, $100,000 more to afford that same property when you go from 3% to 8%. So let's go in the middle, 6.5%. We just saw this weeks ago in our market. That means that same $180,000 income per household, $5,250 payment is $767,000 purchase. Now that takes that properties down to 92 from 154, right? So that's why we're seeing such a crunch. So you take that plus an inventory shortage with higher interest rates, that's where it creates a downside for the median versus the market clearing price. Home equity. Obviously, people have a lot of equity in the property. They don't need to sell as quickly. They don't have the banks taking over because they're not making payments. They're walking away because they have no equity. So we're not getting as many listings as we had in the previous years when we had those issues with people that were having not as much equity in their home. This is a crazy, crazy slide. I had no idea the difference, what 10 years makes. 10 years ago, 38.3% of properties had 40% or more equity in their property, meaning loan to value was 60% or less. Then we look at now, it's 78.1%. 78.1% of households have more than 40% equity built in. So you'll see that 95% have at least 20% equity in their property, whereas only 1 in 3 homes in the previous 10 years had that much equity in it. So people don't need to sell, and they don't need to fire sell. They're ready to sell when they get the right price. ARMs, we don't see ARMs like we did before. So ARMs are down to less than 5%. We're not selling adjustable rate mortgages when rates are so low. People are locking in 30-year and they're feeling very comfortable. So once again, not having to sell. Then we go into delinquencies. If people are making their payments, banks aren't taking these over. They're not having to fire sell and put out that inventory. Delinquencies way, way, way below the 1972 to 2000 average of 4.2% of households being delinquent on payments. It's down to 2.52%. So lastly, Jordan always goes through this. I think he does a great job. Housing always makes sense. What's going to happen is all families in the nation versus all owners of property or real estate, their net worth per capita compared to renters where all they can do is play with the stock market game. And this is really interesting. He went through 2.74 million homes in the nation are above the capital gains threshold. $250,000 capital gains or $500,000 capital gains if you're married. That means you can write off if you sell your home as your primary and you make $750,000 on it, you're actually going to pay $250,000 worth of capital, or you're going to pay capital gains on $250,000 worth of that equity. That's making people stick in their homes and wanting to just pass on the equity down to their family. Then they get to re-up on where that value is so they don't have to worry about cap gains when they sell it later. But we do have this on the docket now. Pay attention to your ballots. We have it on the docket to where it's going to go from 250 to 500,000 individual and 500,000 individual, or sorry, married couple adds $1 million. That's doubling the amount of funds you can take from a sale and not pay cap gains. If we look at that number from 2.7, it goes down to 1,045,000 homes. The amount of people that will then be like, wow, I don't have to go pay the government. This should help us increase inventory. So pay attention to those ballots when they come about, because that could be a huge change to help us increase inventory and get buyers out there and sellers selling. Forecast for 2024. Look, I'll go back to this. It says, he basically said, hey, let's not throw a party, maybe get the champagne and ice. I think we've got plenty to look forward to. Look, we've already seen basically in the market, California housing, the resales, we're looking to go 327,000 homes compared to 257 with a 27% increase in sales. Median price going from 860 up from the 814, so 5.7% increase. Housing affordability index kind of staying the same. So keeping the same affordability, increasing inventory, and decrease of rates. He does believe we would see about low sixes by the end of the year. Should help all of us do more business and put our clients in some homes. That way they can start building their wealth now. Good luck out there. Please reach out, contact us for any help that you need for your buyers.